Good morning, everyone. A fantastic, sunny and warm welcome to Majestic Game Reserve in the northwest province of South Africa. This is the very start of Escape to Nature, a show where you are literally going to escape to nature. It's a slower pace, it's a deeper sort of discussions, and it's a lot more intimate with the naturalist. So it's about to start. Good morning, my name is Lauren. I do have Rian on camera, and we are starting with a beautiful view. It's a glorious winter morning. It's starting to warm up. You can see the gorgeous mountains of Madikwe, that rufous, rich, delicious red sand, and what is starting to become quite sparse vegetation. Doesn't get as densely packed as other areas, but I would say it's really starting to thin out. Well, it took a little bit of doing, but we found them. And it's hot. It's ridiculously hot, and yet look at them. I don't even know how many bodies we have piled on top here. I think it's 4. You would think that they would want a little bit of personal space due to the heat. But apparently not. Jamie, you love wild dogs. Great. I love them too. They're probably not going to do much, for the rest of the mid part of the day. Animals don't really do much, but they will get active once it gets a lot cooler, and we're very close to the river. So we're hoping maybe that they might go down to get a drink. We're downwind of the dogs now, which is rather unfortunate. Dogs are incredibly smelly. It's one of the worst smells for me, but they are obviously gorgeous and totally worth it. Up, down. Patch of shades, patch of shades. I say patch of shade, but look at that. The one in the middle is taking a lot of sun. I don't think it's the ear flapping and the tail sort of swooshing that keeps them awake. It could possibly be all the insects that are landing on them that's causing that to happen, that's keeping them awake, if that makes sense. They're getting irritated. There'll be ants, there'll be insects, there'll be flies, there'll be all sorts of things. But I'm not sure. I mean, they do sleep all night. They are diurnal, and now it really is just resting. They'll have exerted a lot of energy on hunting. They did hunt, I can tell. They've got blood and lots of full bellies. And it really is just too hot to do anything else. It is piping hot. And this mid-window of the day is a tricky one because most animals, even the diurnal animals, are avoiding the sun and they are resting. If you sort of put all your energy into being really active during the day, it's just a waste of energy. You'll go into an energy deficit. And energetics is the ultimate currency out here in the wild. It's not the dollar or the pound or anything else, it's energetics. You've always got to be aware of your own energy budget. And it would just be so pointless unless you're hungry and unless an impala walked into them right now. Generally speaking, most animals will rest or cool down. So I'm not sure what's keeping them awake. Wild dogs are always like this. They're always very restless during the day. And it could possibly be really irritating having all those insects on you. The most underappreciated, I think, sometimes. I really never used to give them any time, I'll be honest enough to say that. But when you start spending time with them, especially during the calving season, it's wonderful. Wildebeest calves are just the best. I think they're so funny. They're so cute. And there are still really young calves around, which really makes me think that they're sort of newborns, if you like. You can see these calves that have just come in now. You can tell they're older by two things really, the size and the coloration. But there are still some really tiny, pale looking calves around. And some females are still pregnant. Davy and I saw wildebeest birth, and I would really love to be able to show it to all of you. It was so wonderful. Such a wonderful thing to see in the wild, actually. Oh, look at that. Precious moments between mother and calf, or mother and foal. Heather, it is a beautiful moment. We are lucky. That's why sometimes you just have to stop and watch. Stop driving. Just pay attention to what's going on around you, and that's when you'll find the beautiful moments. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. When you see the little foals lying down, that's quite normal. But when you see the adult, I don't know. That big bulbous body.
Ooh, lots of zebras. All lining up for some water. I always wonder, how do they decide? Is there a certain time that they prefer? Is it just sort of random? Does one just decide, all right, I'm thirsty now, let's go? You would think with this whole buffet around that there would be some predators lurking about. And I know that sounds horrible, but at the end of the day, again, everyone has to eat. But I think probably within the next few months, the predator activity will definitely increase here at Okaukuejo. You know. So of course from myself, Lisa, that's on the waterholes, from Lauren and Rian in Madikwe. Thank you so much for joining us today. It really has been a wonderful day. But have a beautiful, beautiful Friday. And we will see you a little bit later for Sunset Safari. For myself, Lisa, I will see you tomorrow on Escape to Nature. And I hope everyone has a pleasant afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you find yourself. And we'll see you tomorrow.